All right, so my name is Jordana Goldstein, and I work under financial advisors right now for a local financial firm. I am currently engaged. I've been engaged for a year now, and I've been with my fiance for 3 years. We actually met through an after party. People call it the afters. This was 3 years ago, and it's funny because both of us were seeing people at the time, and when we saw each other, I don't know, when I saw him at least, I knew immediately that this guy was something different. His aura just incredibly loud, and I had to go near him. I had to just be by his side for some reason. I was only seeing someone for 8 months, but don't let your boyfriend keep you from meeting your husband. And I didn't let that happen. And he was seeing someone for 6 years, but within the first week of knowing each other, we just somehow knew, and we broke things off with the people that we were seeing. And after that, it was like the honeymoon phase never ended after that. I feel as though this is probably the best relationship I have ever been in my entire life, hence the ring. And I feel that he could say the same way as well.
How did you navigate ending things on both terms? That must have been a scary bridge to cross. Like, both of you had partners going into it, right?
Yeah.
And how did you navigate not only ending those relationships, but the trust or insecurity on both of your guys' ends that may happen again to you guys?
That is a really fair question, and that is something that I feel like my mom brings up a lot. I don't know, it was so magical when we met. He wasn't in a happy relationship. He actually told me and that he was going to try and break things off during COVID, but me also being in a relationship during COVID, I understood where he came from when he told me that he couldn't break things off when it happened. When the lockdown came into fruition, it was almost like something inside everybody where they felt stuck in whatever situation that they were in, whether it be job-wise, relationship-wise, home-wise. Like, people were just stuck. And so he felt like he could stick it out, and maybe things would get better with his girlfriend. And I felt the same way with my ex when I lived with him during COVID. But turns out things didn't go too well, obviously, towards the end of their relationship. And I don't know, for me, I was only seeing someone when I met him for 8 months. I wasn't taking it too seriously, unfortunately. I feel really bad saying that, because I know he was taking it seriously, but I need adventure, and I just wasn't getting that from this person.
Why do you want to be loved?
Because I deserve to be loved. Everybody deserves to be loved.
What does love mean to you?
It's different for everyone, I know, but for me specifically, I feel safety and security within love, and adventure. I need adventure. I don't know if it's the Gemini in me, I don't know if it's the bleach getting into my brain, but I need some form of adventure and fun, like at least once every 3 months.
How do you navigate adventure in love?
I guess spontaneity. Being spontaneous is definitely the number one thing that navigates love. It also helps that my fiance DJs on the side. So I get to kind of travel whenever he plays or wherever he goes. That's not his main job though.
Um, Now, being somebody that's in the limelight, like your fiance, do you ever worry about the attention he's getting from other people? Like he's constantly in a new scenario, constantly the main feature of the show being the DJ.
No, actually, I love it. I love it for him, and I love it for me too. Cause I, although I don't really like being in the spotlight. I mean, I'm here, but I know that that's his dream and his goal, and that's another reason why he chose me too, is because I've accepted it, and I basically uh, welcomed it with open arms in a relationship. This is something that is his life goal, and I want to work in the music industry too. I want to have my own business. So I feel as though it goes hand in hand within the industry. At least, you know, you're going to have some sort of spotlight on you, some sort of attention when it comes to other people, and you might not be people that you like, but it's up to us to communicate and differentiate who we want around us and who we want to keep in our inner circle.
Just 1 second before we continue. Can you move your hair right? Yeah.
Oh.
Good. As long as it doesn't rub the mic.
Wait, okay, let me just move it over.
Cool. How do you navigate fighting or disagreeing with your partner?
I feel like we don't really fight. The only times that we've had fights, it ended kind of explosively, at least on my end, because it's always been a drunk night for me. I never ever mix alcohols. I never mix your dark and your clear. Don't do that. But for the most part, we don't really fight. If anything, we do have disagreements, but the only way we navigate through it is just by communicating. Sometimes things do get a bit hasty within comments being made or words that are being said. However, just taking a step back, I've noticed ever since I was a teenager, I just need to take a step back. And whenever I get uncomfortable, overwhelmed, this is something that I've learned since therapy, since I was 16. But I feel that he has learned that from me. Another thing about love and relationships is that you really have to understand and be content with whatever ways that your partner needs to cope or figure things out, or however they communicate. It's different for everyone. For me, it's taking a step back. For him, it's just letting everything out in the open. So obviously we butt heads when we have disagreements, but for the most part, I feel that we've learned each other's languages.
Does your past trauma affect your current relationship?
Yeah, sometimes it's only during those drunken nights where I feel something is triggered in me and I need to immediately shut down, and it's a fight or flight situation. Most of the time I just do the flight, but sometimes I'll do the fight. I feel like for me specifically, it's for trauma, I tend to just put it in the back of my mind. I don't let it affect our relationship really in any way, because there's no point. There's really no point in letting something like that get to you.
What would you sacrifice for your love? Or what have you had to sacrifice?
That's a really interesting question. I guess I would sacrifice. Oh my God, I don't know. It's so hard.
Have you ever had to sacrifice anything? Like, has
So
your
I've had to
partner-
sacrifice my dignity before.
What do you mean by that?
um, when I thought I was in love with someone else, I caught him cheating, and I just stayed with him. But that was also during COVID, so I felt stuck. So it felt like I was sacrificing my dignity at that point. But I guess in the future, I will have to sacrifice my body for children that I want to bear. But I guess also, in a sense, I would sacrifice my career if it gets to that point to raise our children. But I already know no matter what I do, I'd still be able to find a way to create my own business, because that is my ultimate goal. Having a career in finance is not something that I want to do for the rest of my life anyway. I feel like this is a good stepping stone into what I really want to do. So if I have to sacrifice my career in order to keep this love and gain more love by children, I will do so happily.
Now, can we go back and are you comfortable talking about the relationship, the previous one? Where
Yeah.
you were cheated on?
Yeah.
Why did you continue with the relationship after you were cheated on?
So I was with him for, I want to say, a year and a half, 2 years. And this man was extremely addicted to online pornography and mingling with other women online. And so when I caught him, I kind of hacked into his Wi-Fi and blocked all of the stuff that he could log into or whatever. And so in my brain, I was like, okay, if I do this, that avoids him doing that. So I kind of justified it. And then boom, COVID hits. Right before COVID hits, actually, he moves to another apartment, to a different one. And so then COVID hits, and my parents were very high risk. I was around a lot of people for like a good month before lockdown. So my ex just said, all right, come stay with me, bunker down. Only 2 weeks. It's only 2 weeks. Oh my God, whatever. I just have to deal with him for 2 weeks. And then 2 weeks turns into a month, which turns into 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. But throughout that time, I noticed that he was getting increasingly more sneaky throughout, and like just like doing weird, sketchy stuff. So I did some digging. I found more stuff that he did in the past and what he was doing in the present. So we screamed, argued, definitely did not have a pretty fight. It was very, very ugly. However, I stayed because I just couldn't go anywhere else. I didn't want to go back to my parents. I couldn't afford to live on my own. I lost my job because of COVID. Everything about that situation was terrible. And I feel as though since COVID, a lot of people have that same concern when it comes to online and the OnlyFans, the Chatterbeats, all of those weird websites that men and even women pay for and pay to get onto, pay for content. It's very sickening to those that they live with, to the women that they live with, and the ones that they say that they love. How could you love somebody when you're paying someone else to be naked for you? It boggles my mind. Makes no sense whatsoever.
Do you think it's hurting the current dating climate?
Oh my God, yeah. I think it is for sure hurting the current dating climate. Since COVID, I've noticed that there has been a dark cloud over us. This dark cloud is technology. It's being online. That is the main reason why everybody feels so divided, and why there is really no light at the end of the tunnel for society, at least. A lot of women and men feel that they are being bamboozled by the other side, which makes no sense. I mean, I get where everybody's coming from. I get that from a woman's standpoint, you're afraid to be cheated on, you're afraid to be, heartbroken or ghosted, left in the dust. From a men's standpoint, you're afraid of the gold diggers, you're afraid of all of the women who, have a past with men. It's just, I don't know. People just need to grow up and stop letting what everybody online is telling you to do, telling you how to think. Like, being online has caused such a divide and such a rift between, like, men, women, society, all of it. It's not what it was 30 years ago, 40 years ago. And ever since the internet came, it's been literally probably the worst thing to ever happen to us as humans in humanity.
Do you think nowadays, with all that being said, more women or more men are looking for the atomic family? Like, in your opinion?
Men are looking for a family more than women. And although I look at statistics a lot from what I gather online, I do go online too, but I feel like a lot of men want to have kids and branch out to have families, but I don't know. I can't speak for them. I can't. But I just know from a lot of my girlfriends, a lot of the people that I associate myself with that are female, just don't care to have a family. They might want a boyfriend or they might want a husband, but they don't care for the children part of life, which is fine. But I feel as though, as humanity and as Americans, it is pivotal for our existence to continue to have children.
What do you value that they want more than a family right now?
They value careers. Women value their careers and, I guess, how they're perceived by other women.
And in your mind, seeing all that play out, how do you think that will end in 20 years when they're on top of their careers, but all their friends like you are on top of their household with a fully blossomed family and, being wanted every day?
It's already affecting people. It's already affecting a lot of women that I know. A lot of not a lot, okay, I need to stop saying that, but a few of my friends are currently going through IVF treatment and they don't have husbands or boyfriends. They don't have anything like that, yet they're at the point of their life where they know that this is almost the end of being able to be fertile. So they're all going and freezing their eggs in case they do find the one, in case they do want to raise children even on their own. But I feel like it's hurting. It's hurting my friends who are trying to do this. It's the amount of hormones that they need to inject into their bodies in order to get those few eggs that they have left. It has been brutal for them. So, and I believe in harvesting eggs. I think that is actually such a great source of technology, a great way to use technology. But to do it or to wait until you're so old is kind of selfish a little bit. Not in a sense that my friends are selfish, but in a way where you should have thought about this years ago in a different form than you're thinking of it now. I don't know. I don't know.
That's okay. You're good.
Whatever. I actually didn't want to be mean there to my friends, and the way I said it made it sound really mean. So
Honesty is never.
I'm gonna hit my vape real quick.
Yeah, of course. Take your time. What have you asked for someone to give up for your love? Or what have you asked for a partner to sacrifice for you?
I don't think I've actually. We can restart that. Sorry.
And if
Alright.
you want to pat down its right side, yep. Yep. Cool.
Okay. So
What have you asked someone to sacrifice for your love?
I have never asked anyone to sacrifice anything for my love, and I don't think I ever will. If something were to be bothering me, I am the person to confront those feelings and talk to my significant other and get down to why I'm uncomfortable with whatever it is that is being done. And if they want to, 9 times out of 10, they just say, okay, I will stop, or okay, it won't happen again, or okay, I see where you're coming from, and it won't be a problem anymore. It won't make you feel uncomfortable anymore. And 10 times out of 10, in my relationship right now, my fiance has answered my prayers and always had, never made me feel like that I need to ask him to sacrifice something for me, or that I need to sacrifice something for him. There's never been anything of the sorts. And if there were, I feel like it wouldn't necessarily be a problem. It would just be something that, it would be a new development in our relationship, but I feel like that we can really move forward with it, and it won't affect our relationship in any way.
Have you ever been afraid before your current relationship that you wouldn't find someone who truly loved you?
No. I've had my dad. He truly loves me. That's how I know what love is. My dad, the way that he treats my mom is impeccable. It's like she's his princess, his queen, all in one. And since the moment I was born, I've always seen that from him. The way he talks to her, talks about her, it's been with the utmost respect, and seeing that growing up is what made me know that I will be okay. I know what love looks like in a relationship. I owe it all to him, really.
What matters most in a relationship to you?
Communication. Communication is the number one thing. Like, if you don't have that, then you're not in a relationship. If you don't have honest, thoughtful conversations with one another, there's no point in being with that person.
Have you ever broken someone's heart, and what did that feel like from your perspective?
Yes, I did. It was when I met my fiance, and I had to break things off with the guy I was seeing. I didn't realize how in love he was. I didn't know, or I guess he wasn't in love, but that's what he's told me. And I didn't know it because he never said that. He waited until he found out about my fiance, and it was strange. I knew what I was doing, and I don't know why in the moment the puppy tears, the bawling, it made me second guess what I was doing for some reason. I think also because I'm empathetic towards one's feelings. It just reminded me of how it was when I was with my ex during COVID and I was doing the puppy tears, the bawling. So it broke my heart a little bit seeing it. However, I just had to eat it. I was like, I can't do it. And I don't think it's affected me now. I don't think it's that. I'll feel bad about that for a while, probably for the rest of my life, but I don't think it's something that will affect my decision making.
Have you ever had your heart broken, and how did that feel for you?
When I was with my ex during COVID, that heartbreak felt like a million knives just all through my body. I didn't know that I was this in love with that person, but I also think it was just, since he was the person that brought me to my first rave. I love raves, so that had a very special place in my heart. I just thought I would be with this person forever, even though he did so many crappy things to me. I just thought, oh, this is, you forgive, you never forget, but you forgive your significant other, you forgive the person that you truly love, and they'll forgive you too. But that wasn't really the case with him. It just, I had enough at that point. It was brutal. It was really brutal.
Now, to change subject a little bit, how did the pandemic change your perspective on dating and relationships?
Because of this dark cloud, because of technology, being online, during the pandemic, a lot of men started gravitating towards content that was Andrew Tate. It's very misogynistic. I was actually just listening to him on Piers Morgan this morning, and I am disgusted by what this person calls himself as a man. Like, that is just appalling. But a lot of young people, young boys and men, really cater to that content. They love that kind of content. They love breaking the political barrier of just being PC. And it's not, I feel like a lot of women have had enough. I at least had enough when I was in the dating pool after my COVID, I call him my COVID ex. After my COVID ex, I was in the dating pool, and I noticed a lot of that. I noticed a lot of men who online were Tinder, whatever it was, just trying to either look for a hookup or look for a wife immediately, right off the bat. It was so strange. And the way that they talked to me, the way that they talked to women, it was degrading, very degrading. It was appalling. I can't take it. I can't take that part of that option of dating. That online dating is probably another thing that is so terrible for us as a society. Everybody just needs to go out and do what they love, whether it's go to an art class, go to a show, go to a rave, go to a concert, go out and do something that you really love, and I guarantee you that somebody is going to be there that loves the same exact thing, that you guys somehow click, and then boom. That's exactly what happened with my fiance and I just need people to start touching grass. I need, like, men specifically to start touching grass.
Do you think women are still approachable in those type of environments?
I do, yeah. I see a lot of videos online of like friends of girls like in the groups and friend groups like try to stop a man from talking to their friend or whatever, but I don't think that's all of society. I don't think that's everywhere. I think women are still very much approachable. It just all depends on how you do it. Don't be creepy. I feel like there's a lot of creepy guys who just don't know how to do it, or drunk guys who come off creepy.
Do you feel people approach love differently now compared to before COVID?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Sorry, the dog's going crazy.
It's okay, I'm gonna hit my vape one more time.
Yep. I don't know what he's barking at. He's in like a windowless room. Do you feel people approach love differently now compared to before COVID?
Yes. At least Gen Z. I'm Gen Z, and I already know a lot of my peers view relationships as almost like an obstacle. They getting out of the situationship phase or getting out of just the talking phase is an obstacle in itself. Thankfully, I actually don't have much experience with that. I don't want to say I know my worth, because then that's just kind of saying that other people don't know their worth, which isn't true. They do. Everybody, or not everybody, but for the most part, a lot of my peers, a lot of my girlfriends know their worth. They know what they want out of a relationship. It's just, I don't know. It's so, sorry, I'm trying to like gather my thoughts, and I forgot what the last portion of that question was.
Do you feel people approach love differently now compared to before COVID?
So yeah, like my point, it's just our generation has been through hell and back, and it's very sad to see how we view the world and how we view relationships.
Have your standards or expectations in a partner changed since your ex during COVID?
Yeah, standards I didn't even think I would need to set, or goals in a relationship that I didn't think I need to have. He definitely traumatized me, but I don't have to deal with that now, thankfully, thank God. I think this relationship that I'm in, my forever relationship, it is just a whole new level of being comfortable.
Do you find it easier or harder to trust people after that experience?
Definitely harder. I was gonna say neutral, but I guess when I think about my single friends, I think about what they might experience, what they might deal with, at least when it comes to that portion of being online, and their future boyfriends, future husbands, there's always going to be something in the back of my mind that is very hesitant to trust any guy, at least for my friends. I will always trust my fiance.
How has the importance of physical closeness versus emotional connection changed for you over life?
Sorry, repeat that.
How has the importance of physical closeness versus emotional connection changed for you over your life?
I grew up in a household that wasn't very lovey-dovey, sappy. My mom and my dad although they were close together, I just never grew up in a family where like cuddling and kissing and a bunch of that close physical closeness, it wasn't common in our household. So I never really felt like I needed that. But emotional wise, I've always had safety. I've had emotional safety. So that's why I feel as though the number one thing in my relationship is communication. I guess number two thing is also the safety. Like that's what love is to me, just feeling secure and safe. The physical closeness of myself and being physical with my significant other is not something that I really prioritize. I do love my nightly cuddles, but not every night. I don't need to be like touching him at all times. I don't need him to be touching me at all times, even though he would love to do that. I love my personal space. I'm also an only child, so I feel like that has a lot to do with it too. I had personal space my entire life, so I just need to keep it that way.
It's very interesting to hear because as another only child, that's like, I hate personal space. I like yearn for that, like,
really
connection. Oh yeah.
So I thought I would yearn for that as an only child, but then when I like moved in with my ex and now moved in with my fiance, I don't know. I need to have a bed I love a bed to myself. I love having like my own corner of a couch. It feels freeing, almost like independent, how I've always been in my life.
Did the pandemic make you more focused on self-love and independence, or more eager for companionship?
Oh my God, the pandemic made me want to just like be in a cave and be by myself and work on self-love and have a therapist with me in this cave. That's immediately what I wanted to do when I left that relationship, my COVID relationship. I was like, I really need to work on self-worth. This is terrible for me. But I don't know, I got over that hurdle and I went back to school. I did a lot of things to actually work on myself. And then I realized, okay, not everybody's this shitty, this crappy. But I'm happy that I did do that, take the time that I needed. I had like a year and a half off from relationships and being with anyone. I was still in contact with my ex, but not in that way. I loved his dog and I loved his roommates. I loved every part of that life, and I was just like, we could still be friends. So we were, and it kind of helped me like seeing all the cons of him and the icks that I got. I was like, this is beautiful. I'm happy I'm seeing all this, and I'm not with him anymore. And so I could just focus on me, and I don't have to worry about any relationship stuff anymore.
When you think about the love you want to receive, do you feel you embody those same qualities in how you show love for others?
I'm sorry, repeat that.
When you think about the love that you want to receive, like get from others, do you feel that you embody those same qualities in how you treat others?
Yeah. I give out what I want. I put out what I want, and especially when it comes to love, it's a love language of mine. I love baking. I love cooking. I don't expect anyone to really give me the same thing back, but at least not the baked goods portion of it. But I do want. My love language is another part of my love language is communication. And being honest and gift giving. I don't need all of that back, and I don't expect all of it back, but I, for the most part, do get it back. At least with my friends and family and my relationship. I definitely feel that people are listening to me, and I like when I listen to others too. Your love language doesn't have to be the same as mine, but as long as we pick up on each other's and know what works best for us and our friendships, relationships, it only gets better from there.
How has your definition of vulnerability evolved, and do you allow others to truly see you as you are?
I guess vulnerability wise, I'm too trusting. I feel like I let in people who don't deserve to be let in sometimes. Not all the time. I feel like I'm a really good judge of character for the most part. However, I don't always see what people. I don't always see what intentions people have. People have the wrong intentions all the time, and I am such an optimistic person that I don't see it. Sometimes I do. I feel like since I am a good judge of character, I know when somebody has bad intentions, but I don't know. It's sometimes it gets past me, and I've learned over the years to really consider what is crossing a line and when I need to cut someone off. And I'm grateful that I know how to do that, and I'm not ashamed to do that or scared.
One second, just looking for the next question.
That's okay. What time is it?
It is 12:04.
Okay.
You've answered so many of the questions without being asked.
Sorry about that.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
Wait, my mom called me.
Okay.
I told her to call me at 12 in case you were a serial killer.
Well,
but it
we
was
haven't
her.
gotten to that part of the video
I
yet.
know. I actually want to am I okay to take a photo of all this?
Yeah, absolutely. Prove to her you're still alive.
Yeah, and I will. So she has Instagram. She's insane. And I was like, I already knew where she was going. Like when I told her I was doing this, I already knew like her immediate reaction. And like, I tried to calm her down by like showing her your Instagram and all this. And she's just like, okay, but like if it's an hour long, call me at 12. I'll call you at 12. But
That's a good mom.
I know, but she's literally a fear-mongering mom, so don't let it fool you.
No, nothing wrong with that. I feel like I started a group during COVID that lasted a little bit after COVID for people like models and photographers that were afraid to meet strangers off the internet for that exact reason, right?
Yeah,
But it turned out to be more drama than it was worth for me, anyway.
It always ends in drama. Everything always ends in drama. I'm so over it. I'm so over drama. I'm so over dealing with people's emotions. I know it's sad to say, but like, get your life together and like start figuring things out. And if something were to go wrong in a friend group, oh my God, please, for the love of God, please don't bring me into it. I'm so done with drama and friend group dramas. It is literally probably one of the most annoying things to deal with, and especially being with Oscar too, like him having a whole DJ group. I'm like,
a lot of drama in the rave scene.
a lot of drama for no reason.
People just like to be seen, and when they don't seem to be seen correctly, they make it very incorrect.
Yeah.
So these are the last couple of questions. I think
Okay.
there's 6. What would you constitute the perfect day for you and your current love?
And my what love?
And your current love.
Okay. Perfect day with me and my fiance is the wedding day. No, I'm definitely looking forward to that. But I think perfect day for us would be in Ibiza, lying on a beach in the morning, waking up on a beach, and then going straight to Pacha. Pacha. I know it's very strange, but that's literally our perfect day together. Like just living in Ibiza.
Nothing is strange. What is one thing you've learned from love?
Communication. I've learned communication through love. I don't know, it was something I definitely needed to fix going into relationships when I was younger. But I feel like also my job, it makes me talk to people a lot. I talk a lot, and I've learned that since that's something that I value, when I give it out, I realize it's because I've learned it through the years from my parents' love, from my first boyfriend's love. It's just, that's one of the most important things to me. Sorry, I definitely
It's okay. No need to apologize. Do you think women wanting to be independent are causing more men not to chase them?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Women definitely deserve to feel independent and be independent. But it's also hurting them because men don't want to chase them. Men are seeing it as an okay to not give them the compliments, or not like start flirting with them at the bar or start flirting with them at the club. It's just, it's them wanting to be independent. It has caused a rift along with technology. I think it's just a snowball effect.
Do you think men want women to be dependent upon them?
I do. Yeah, I think men very much like to be, they like to know that they are being depended on for something. And that's just like what they are inherently. I do think most men, that's why a lot of them want to have children, want to have families. It's because they want to be depended on.
Name 3 things you and your partner, your fiance, have in common.
Oh my god, we have so many things in common. Our love for our 2 cats. Music, obviously. He's like a musician, and I'm in love with music, so I'm in love with a musician. And number 3 would be adventure, traveling.
What is it that in your life you're most grateful for?
I'm most grateful for my parents. Throughout my whole life, I've always been grateful for them. But they're the reason why I have Oscar. So I'm also grateful for him, my fiance, but they're number ones.
Do you think your love and affection from Oscar play a positive role in your life?
Yes. Oh my God. He has helped me tremendously achieve goals that I never thought I would have. I'm helping our friend at a label for media. Never thought I would get into media. Never thought he has brought so much out of me that I never knew I had. Creative wise, loving wise, I never knew I liked cats until we had cats. Yeah, he has helped me so much. Another thing is with my school. I was still at school when I met him, and I just didn't want to finish it. I didn't want to do anything that I didn't care for it anymore. I was like, let me just stop this and just go do what I want to do, like create a business or figure something out. And he's like, no, are you stupid? Go finish school, go get your job. And I was like, okay. And because of him, I am so much better as a person and as a fiance.
Is there anything else you'd like to add about love, or any suggestions to the people out there searching for love?
It's gonna be cliche, but don't look. It's gonna be there, no matter what. Like, your love is gonna be there. Don't be afraid to give your love either. Just give as much of it out as you possibly can. There's no need to be, what's the word? There's no there's no need to be introverted and scared to show how you love. Oh my god, I had another thing that I was gonna say. Fuck.
Take your time, no rush.
I had a whole thing.
Do you have it in your
Oh.
notes?
No, I know, but I have it in my head. And don't let this cloud that's above you, don't let technology tell you how to think, how to feel, what you should think, what you should feel. Go out, do something that you really like, and I guarantee you, something there is going to be waiting for you, no matter what.
Well, thank you very much.
Mhm.
I appreciate your time today.
Yay!